Welcome back, everybody, to yes, another fun, amazing, and exciting episode of My Last Brain Cell. Happy Tuesday. I hope you had a great week last week, and I hope that your week so far is okay. Hopefully, you guys had a chance to check out the newest episode of Sip Read Repeat, now on YouTube, with a clip up and about somewhere in the ether. Yeah, man, the book is getting real juicy. I actually forgot how good that book is. Like, yeah, I might have to rewatch the movie. I will say though, I feel that sometimes books and movies or movie adaptations of books, excuse me, don't always capture everything that the book has to offer. But I once I finish or get a good way through Gone Girl, I definitely want to revisit the book or the movie, because as I'm reading it, like, I'm trying to reimagine what Ben Affleck was like as he was portraying the character, and I kind of want to revisit and understand if he really hit the nail on the head. But anywho, before we go any further, before we tackle the question of the day, I want to kind of talk about the elephant in the room. No, we're not doing Tower Stack today. We're not doing Tower Stack on Thursday, and we ain't doing Tower Stack on Saturday. Allow me to explain. I made this post and I put it on my Instagram. And people who follow me on there were able to vote as far as how we should handle the card packing or the card ripping. So apparently, these are brand new packs of like a brand new drop of Pokemon card, right? It's the Scarlet and Violet Obsidian Flames. So I have bought 3 packs of these cards. Now, the first 3-pack I opened because they were mine, and I was curious to see what I got. Kind of wanted to understand if I was going to recoup some of my funds or not. But I decided, I got more cards. Let's make it content. So both packs came with like a special card. The other one came with someone else whose name I don't remember, but I got this one and the other one. And obviously Eevee is a super popular Pokemon. So the people voted, and we are going to open 1 pack at a time, right? But to make things fair, because my brain instantly wants to go to Dragonite because that's the Pokemon that I recognize the most, we are going to put these packs on the table and just, give them a good flipping. Someone fell. You know what? That just won't be picked. We're going to pick this one. I don't know who this is. We got... Who is that? I thought it was going to be Aggron, but I don't know who the hell this is. So while I open this, we're going to go ahead and tackle the question of the day. Question of the day. Now, if you've been on the internet for the last couple of weeks, I'm sure you've seen the debate. What the hell? There we go. I'm sure you've seen the debate online of 100 men versus a gorilla. And I got to tell you guys, I think the men are taking it. Now, I'm sure logic and science will tell you that a gorilla is gonna tear us apart. Sure. And I know that fear is going to play a huge part in how a lot of the battle is handled, right? Because once you see 10, 15, 20 niggas die or get torn apart or legs turned into like cinnamon dust when when the gorilla grabs them, you're going to lose your will to fight. But from what I saw, there's a stipulation that says everyone is dedicated to the cause. Do you really understand how many people, like what 100 people really looks like? Like, right? Oh, Buizel? Low-key, Buizel is one of my favorite Pokemon. I loved him in Float Zeal. When I had, what was that? That must have been Ruby Sapphire. Yeah, a fire water Pokemon for sure. But yeah, do you really understand how many people 100 really is? Have you seen 100 people in a room before? That's a lot of people. That's a gorilla can only do but so much against sheer numbers. Again, we're not leaving that battle with minimal casualties. Like, we're not leaving, like, if we walk in with 100 men, we're not leaving with 75. We're leaving with like 22. Like, a lot of people are going to lose their life during this fight. 100%. But that's the name of the game. You signed up for this. You knew it was going to happen. I genuinely think 100 people could murk a gorilla. And honestly, Personally, which leads me to my question of the day, do you think 100 yous could beat one gorilla? Honestly, I'm not going to hold y'all. I know that 100 me's, 100 Dakotas, we fucking that gorilla up. I know that sounds cocky as shit, but I'm bodying that. Like, yo, like I said, like 78 of me's are gone. We're losing more than 75. Well, shit, we're losing 78% of our forces, hands down. But 22 me's, we're walking out of there. That gorilla is only one thing. Okay. Ooh, Pidgeotto. Man, I wish it was a real shiny. That's hard though. Pidgeotto, obviously a very goated Pokemon from way back in the day, my era. Like, yeah, that's fire. But yeah, man, like, yo, I really think people either underestimate humanity or overestimate the silverback. Like, I genuinely think 100 me's could fuck a gorilla up. Now, I work out. Now, if we were talking about 100 me's 10 years ago, oh, I was just going to be his plaything. I wasn't going to last. Like, my stamina wasn't going to be anywhere near what it needed to be to endure an attrition of that level. Like, there was no way. But now, 32 years old, a little bit of muscle, good stamina, like, bro, I'm fucking that gorilla up. Yeah, I'm taking all my self-taught Ip Man training and street knowledge, and I'm folding that gorilla. Like, I'm using, like, we can't bring weapons, right? But the world, the planet is full of weapons, low key. Sand on the ground, a rock somewhere, it might be a tree I can throw him into, or like 20 of us push him into and just fuck up his ribs or some shit. I'm telling y'all, 100 me's, I'm folding that gorilla. But tell me what you think. Are 100 yous folding a gorilla? Let me know in the comments, y'all. Let me know in the comments. I think we got 1 or 2 more cards. So let's see what this last one is. I thought it was Gyarados at first look. Who is this? Palafin. Anyone know this Pokemon? I've never heard of a Palafin before in my entire life. Yeah, that's the last one. And then we got a basic energy. Yeah, so decent card rip. Nothing super spectacular in this pack, but we do have 2 more packs that, again, will go through the next couple of days. So make sure you stick around for those. And while you are hopefully answering the question, make sure you put it in the comments. I'll get Cards Against Humanity. So for those of you who are new or maybe have not been here in a while, we we retired, I think is a more appropriate term. We retired Pick Your Poison. It just, it had its time. You know what I mean? It's shown enough. So now we move on to Cards Against Humanity. And obviously, I don't play the Cards Against Humanity rules. I play My Last Brain Cell rules because this is my show. And you can't tell me nothing. So the way we do it is we kind of still stick to the rules, right? We're going to pick one of these black cards, any black card, pick a card. And the Academy Award for blank goes to blank. Now, this is our first double entry. And because of that, I am going to pick double the cards. Now, I had been picking, I think I have it the wrong way. I had been picking 3 cards, but now we're going to pick 6 just to make up for the double. And this should be interesting. Now, again, for those of you who may not know or be familiar with Cards Against Humanity, it is an extremely mature version of Pick Your Poison. Like, hella mature. Like, the things, I mean, yeah, some of the answers we've gotten in here have been nuts, but it's part of the allure. So, and the Academy Award for blank goes to blank. Our options today are being a motherfucking sorcerer, drinking out of the toilet and eating garbage, huffing spray paint, the gays, judging everyone, and the Boy Scouts of America. I'm not going to lie to y'all. First of all, when I saw being a motherfucking sorcerer, I was going to put that in the Academy Award goes to, or the Academy Award for being a motherfucking sorcerer. That was like my first thought, right? But now I just see there's a lot of good stuff here. And personally, you might disagree, but the obvious combo is, and the Academy Award for judging everyone goes to the gays. I just think that is brilliant. Like, because in my head, here's what I imagine. In my head, yeah, I imagine like Someone with like zero, little to no fashion sense, aka me, walking down the street and like a RuPaul passing me and being like, "That outfit is garbage." He wouldn't say it out loud. He would be thinking it. He'd be internally, you know what I mean? He'd be internalizing his monologue. But I know somewhere deep down inside he's going, "That outfit is trash." But again, that just seems way too easy. But honestly, it has to work because I'm even being a motherfucking sorcerer. That could go to the gays. I'm not giving to the Boy Scouts of America. Maybe Boy Scouts of America drink out of the toilet and eat garbage. Who knows? I never been a Boy Scout, so I don't really care. But because this is it's just the stars are just too aligned. The Academy Award for judging everyone goes to the gays. Let me know how you would have finessed that if you would have done something differently. Now, again, our options were being a motherfucking sorcerer, drinking out of the toilet and eating garbage, huffing spray paint, and the Boy Scouts of America. Those are the options we still had left on top of the gays judging everyone. So let me know how you would have finessed this. What Academy Award would have been awarded to whom? Put it in the comments. And while you're doing that, I'll get the wheel of fun. Now, before I spin the wheel, I do want to let you guys know that in the coming weeks, I have some really exciting news to drop on y'all. Like, hella exciting. I wouldn't say this is, for me, more anticipated than Sip Read Repeat, because Sip Read Repeat was some years in the making and an idea I've been waiting to see flourish for some time. But this one, the idea I've been plotting on for the last couple of months, I'm really excited. So make sure you are on the lookout for that. I'm not going to do an extensive trailer like I did for Sip Read Repeat. That was a momentous occasion, 100 episodes, and again, my brainchild from so long ago. So I won't do anything crazy like that, but just keep your eyes open for a post or something the next couple of weeks. I don't know. Let's get to this wheel, shall we? Good spin. Solid G-force. I don't know why I said G-force. Ooh, it's been a while. Let's break out the handy dandy notebook for an on this day fact. Notebook acquired. So, on this day in 1998, Steve Jobs introduced Apple's first iMac, which became hugely successful and helped revive the struggling company. So, are you guys on the Apple side or the Android side? Me personally, I go with Apple. I've had an iPhone for at least 10 years at this point. I loved Android, especially because Android seemed to have a lot more versatility with the designs that they had. Like one of the very first Android phones I had would have been in college, like 2010. And I had the Evo from Verizon. And what made that phone so cool is that it had its own personal kickstand, right? So like I could watch TV or like whatever shows I was watching and put my phone down, not have to touch it because it had its own kickstand, right? Apple I just like because it's super clean, it's super simple, and I appreciate the ease of data transferability when I get a new phone, right? Like Apple keeping things in the family is pretty cool. Android has, Android's reach is so ubiquitous that I don't know, I should say, if the transfer process is super easy. Like when I had Android, it was not easy, right? Which is also kind of what prompted me to get an iPhone, because that process was just so simple. And like I said, I've had it for forever, having iTunes and things like that. Now, obviously, Androids have come a long way. And I know that there are a lot more Androids now that are potentially far more superior than iPhone could ever expect to be. However, I'm so locked in. And honestly, I can't imagine getting an Android at this point because, and I'll be real, and it's a very stupid reason, I hate like the UI. I hate the user interface. I hate the home screens. Like once you get into the apps, like you open a Facebook and Instagram or whatever, that they all start to look the same from Android to iPhone, right? But just the home screen, man, I'm not a fan. There are some designs that are cool, and obviously iPhone isn't really doing anything groundbreaking at this point. Like I think most people get iPhone for the status that it provides or the camera. I just get it because I've had it for so long, and I honestly can't imagine going anywhere else. Like I even have an Apple Watch. Like I'm deep enough in the ecosystem that I'm not gonna pull myself out. I haven't gone super deep to get like an iMac or something like that, but I'm deep enough. But yeah, man, let me know what side you guys lie on, whether it be Android or Apple. And with that, I ain't got nothing else for you. As I've been saying the last couple of months, we are on the hunt. Mission 1K. So anything you guys can do, please, please, please tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure you, if you are watching, that you like, you comment, you subscribe. And that's all I got for you. Until next time, y'all. This is King Echo, signing off.